Water has been flooding across the driveway, as you can see, and it actually pools right over here by the catch basin. This is going to be a really easy install, a great DIY.
Here's our happy homeowner.
He paid us to put this catch basin in so we could come back 2 years later and clean it.
Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're going to be installing a catch basin alongside of a driveway. And you can see this driveway, and you can see where we've got our catch basin. Water comes down, and of course it's just flooding right here across this driveway. So you can see the cracks in the driveway. This is all water damage. So what we're going to do is put a catch basin right here, down below grade there, so that the water comes across the driveway, it's picked up by the basin, and then it's going to run right out back to the low spot there in the backyard. Now we're going to finish the trenching with the machine, send it right out to the back. We'll speed this up so you don't have to see all the long time it takes to trench.
Whether you use a trencher or an excavator or you dig this by hand, this is really not that hard to do. The trencher makes quick work of this. The actual trenching time here was less than 9 minutes, and we knocked out this trench very quickly. One thing that's nice about the trencher, if you notice, that it pulverizes the soil. Can you see the soil that's being put out by the tiller? That is so fine, it is like topsoil, and you can use that in your yard or your garden, and it's very easy to move around, especially when you're covering it back up. Take your time. Tree roots are tough. As you cut a tree root, you'll see it gets kind of tough to get through those tree roots, but the trencher will get through there. And hopefully you've got the area marked. Very important, call 911 before you run any type of equipment, or even if you dig by hand, it's still very important to mark the area. That's the law, and it's something that we always do. As you trench, try to keep that line as straight as possible. Right here at the corner of the house, we're actually just following grade, so we're starting to turn just a little bit, but try to keep your trench as straight as possible. It will make it much easier when you go to lay your pipe. Whether you're installing PVC or corrugated, a straight trench really makes a big difference. Remember, we're installing a catch basin at the driveway because the driveway floods to a certain spot. We did not need a channel drain. We didn't need to cut any concrete on this job. It is a very easy DIY job. We're going to add the catch basin and make sure that it runs downhill away from that area. And you can kind of see, if you just look at the bricks on the house, you can see this yard drops off dramatically. It's probably 2.5 feet all the way back to the back. So we've got tremendous fall. So next we're going to install the catch basin. We're also going to hook up the downspout here on the front of the house as well. Why not? We're passing right by it, and you should do the same. If you've got a downspout and it's going into solid pipe, remember this is solid pipe, you can hook that downspout up as well. So I'm going to trench from the downspout over to the main line, and we're ready to go.
So now that we have our catch basin set up, we're going to take the top off of it. There's a couple of screws that hold the catch basin in place, the lid, the grate, down onto the catch basin. And we're going to pop off the top. You can see our grate. But down inside the basin, there's a couple of adapters, and we need to get those out. This is how the basin comes each time. Clean out any excess that dropped in there. And these guys have little locking lips on it, and there's already pre-cut holes. You find that spot, you just twist it, and it locks in place. This one has a cap to block the water from coming in or for future use. We'll put those on, maybe. Maybe not. Lock those in place. Put our basin back down in. Put the lid on it. Then I'm just going to jump on it to make sure it's down at the bottom. Yep. We're just below the top of the concrete. So as the water comes over this direction, go down a little bit lower. As the water comes over this direction, it drops into the basin and is carried away. So it's just some excess dirt has fallen into the trench, and I'm just cleaning it out so that we get good fall, good downhill run away from the catch basin. That should do it. Now we're just going to hook it up. Nice. Nice fit. Nice downhill. Make sure it's tight. And we are ready to cover. So we're going to go ahead and put a T on here for the downspout adapter. Again, this is corrugated, nice stuff. It just snaps together. You hear it click together. We're going to put a downspout adapter up on the downspout and run the little feeder over to this line right here. There's a lot of roots here, so it's kind of tough to push our pipe down in, but it'll go. That one's ready to go on that side. I don't know if you can see these big roots. They've been cut. Pull this down that way. But the roots make it hard to do, but not that hard. Good. Now we're just going to snap this one in place. It's kind of cold, so our pipe isn't that flexible, so we have to stretch it. Snap it in place. And we just push it all down into the bottom of the trench. So here's our T connection coming over from the downspout. Comes back up to, here's our happy homeowner.
He paid us to put this catch basin in so we could come back 2 years later and clean it.
Up all that water and come down through the trench, going all the way out. Another nice little tip for joining pipe together. Yeah, they do make a coupling that you can buy and put together, but it works the same way as this. If you cut out a small piece, about 4 or 5 inches, and you go ahead and slice this in half, and then squeeze this together. What we're doing is we're making an insert. We're going to squeeze it real tight. We're going to slide one piece into here, about halfway, and then we're going to take the other piece. It's stuck in the trench, and we're going to slide it on to this piece. And just wiggle it until it gets flush. And you can see it totally disappears. And now we can push this all down into the trench and continue to lay pipe. Here at the end of the line, you can see that we've taken our pipe and we've actually cut it off at an angle so that it comes right to the top of the ground, and water's going to come out. And we're basically just going to throw some dirt on here because it tries to pop out. But now We'll clean this off in the back. The water will run right out here on down the hill. That's it. So now we're just backfilling. Derek's just putting the rest of that soil in there and covering that trench. Be sure to put it all right up on the top of your trench so that it settles. Don't try to grade it off. Just bring it right up to the top. We'll take some of this away, but not much. We're just finishing cleaning up, putting the last little bit of soil on. Remember that the trencher pulverizes that soil, makes it a lot easier just to use the rake. Nice and clean, it comes right up on the trench, and we're done.
So many questions about what is the best stone to use for the French drain. Well, you know, we go to the gravel yard every morning and we buy number 67 stone. This is the same stone used by the DOT. It is crushed to a size of 3/4 inch to 1.5 inch. It stops the dirt from entering the pipe and still allows drainage. This is the same stone that the DOT uses for all of their projects. Do not use round rock. This type of rock, this type of material will pack full of mud overnight. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.